boy, howdy, I am glad you are here. I'm so glad you're here, but let's get into it. Let's get into I Got the Smokes, Let's Ride podcast experience with me, who? BTCG episode 23. 23. That's right. Brought to you by our friends at Camacho Live Life Bold. And I tell you, I'm glad you're here because that means it's Friday and you are off work and the weekend is weekending. It's coming. Let's get in the car and let's get it going. But also, I'm being a little selfish. I am. Now, I want to smoke a cigar. I do, and I want to smoke a Camacho cigar. And I got a nice broadleaf sitting over here. We'll talk about it in just a minute. Excuse me. And, but I got to tell you, today's Saturday. I love the First Lady. Oh my gosh, I love the First Lady. First Lady is fan-dang-tastic. And I do lots of stuff for the First Lady, and sometimes my delayer works better than my worker does, and I've been delaying working on that bathroom, and the First Lady goes, hey, we really need to put some time in on that bathroom because I'd like to quit going upstairs every time I have to do things. Put on makeup, right? Girls don't do those other things guys do, right? They're just naturally wonderful. But, like, you know what? I'm tired of going up them stairs every time. Robert. And when I get called Robert, boy, howdy. Only my wife and my mama would call me that. And I knew I had to get some work done today. It's my day off, Saturday. And so I know I have to work on the bathroom. And I said, well, you know, darling, I still have to put out this great content for all these great people watching and our friends from Camacho Live Life Bold, right? I got to put out that content. So how about we do this? How about I start working at noon? Now, y'all can't tell the First Lady this. Luckily, she doesn't watch these videos. She gets enough Bob, the cigar guy, and Bob, the procrastinator, that she does not need to infuse herself with this stuff. So don't tell her I'm telling you this, but I got up, let the dogs out, made myself a cup of coffee, clicked on the TV, watched Storage Wars or something for a couple minutes, and then I came out here and I got on YouTube and watched YouTube videos for a little bit. Did a little bit of cleaning, a little bit of organizing. We had some guests over to the studio last week, Fabian Ziegler and David from Aganorsa. They were out on Chief Talk. Fantastic show. Hilarious show. And Fabian dropped so many knowledge bombs. He is learning so much at Aganorsa, going so much deeper into the actual tobacco tasting and tobacco farming and fermenting process. He was just dropping so much information. And it's hilarious and funny. And, of course, we ate the Black Death candy, the most sourest candy supposedly in the whole wide world. And, boy, howdy, Fabian had a little struggle with it. Chief, of course, did. He was a little rough. David, I don't know if he's made of steel or titanium or he has no flavor notes for sour, but he held out better than the rest of us did. But we all did it. Fabian actually did too, Fabian. But he gave me a cigar that was 1 3/4 inches across and 10 inches long, and I smoked that thing the whole show, the equivalent of 5 Toro cigars. And boy, howdy, I had to work on that thing hard. Funny show. Check it out. But I got to do the bathroom. And this is the perfect, I won't say excuse, the perfect reason and opportunity, commitment, and things that need to be done without doing the bathroom. Now, I will be in there doing the bathroom. I will for the rest of the day. But at least I'm starting off my day with videos, smoking cigars, sitting in my comfortable chair, wearing my polo shirt. That's right, this is a polo shirt. It's got no sleeves on it. I cut the sleeves off because I got a stain in the belly. I hate that. You buy an expensive shirt, even though you buy it on sale, it's still expensive. You buy an expensive shirt, and then you get some grease on it from some food because my belly does stick out a little bit past the edge of the table, and so if things fall, then they fall on there, and it ruins the shirt. I love the shirt. I can't wear the shirt because I look like a slob. You can't be a large-framed feller. I'm saying it nicely. And have stains on your shirt because then people say, oh, he's not just big, he's big and slobby, right? Right. So I have to pitch a shirt. And I'm like, I don't want to pitch a shirt. I like this shirt. So I cut the sleeves off of it. Now it's a work shirt and a show shirt. It's a channel shirt, right? So no sleeves, got a collar, got my blue collar hat on, right? But let's light this thing up. This is the Camacho broadleaf, gorgeous band. I just got this in. Just got this sent to me. It is a Honduran wrapper, Honduran broadleaf wrapper. Honduran binder and fillers are Dominican Republic and Honduran, so it's puro adjacent, right? It's just got a little bit of tobacco from another country, and I'm going to cut it with this baller. I got to tell you, I saw the guys at Cigar Medics, talked to the engineer at Cigar Medics. I was stoked he knew me. He goes, I know you. You're Bob the Cigar guy. I said, yeah, I am. Hey. Because I love your stuff. I said, well, thank you very much. So that made me judge his character. And I said, thank you very much. And he goes, yeah. I said, Cigar Craig. I love Craig Vanderslice. Amazing guy. Most humblest man I've ever met, I think. And he's so smart. He is. He is. He's amazing. And just a fell sweller. I've got to hang out with him a couple times. And I just really enjoy his time. And his wife is a sweetie as well. She's a fire plug, like her. But Cigar Craig has been posting up about this baller. And so I finally, when I was at PCI, I said, hey, I'd love to get a hold of one and give it a try. So full. And he said, yeah, let me hook you up. And so not only did he do that, he goes, do you have the Saka cutter? And I said, yeah, I do. I got that a couple years ago. And he goes, all right. I said, I love that cutter. The whole potato chip blade thing is really cool. And he was surprised that I knew that, but I thought that was cool because I have a machinist background, an auto body background, mechanical background. I have construction background, so I really like that mechanical stuff. I really do. I have that engineering mind, right? And so we talked about it and handed it to me. He goes, well, do you have a leather case for it? And I said, no. And he goes, I got an extra one here. Here, take it. And I was like, dude, excuse me. So he gave me, I got smoke, lots of smoke. Oh my gosh, the smoke is on this thing like crazy. So he gave me a cutter cover, right? Nice little leather cover. It sits right here on my desk. It's one I grabbed for. I've got, all right. If you're driving, don't pay attention. Just listen. Drive. It's important. Go back and watch it again. I can use a second view anyway. Let me set this down. At my desk. Not lying. I've been wanting to do this for a while because it's crazy. People ask, how do you know which cutter or lighter you're going to use? And I'm like, I just, for a bigger cigar, I'll get a bigger lighter. Smaller cigar, I'll get a smaller lighter and cutters and da-da-da, and just what I feel and just what I got. We're not sponsored by any cutter lighter manufacturers at this time. So I don't have to use their stuff. I can use whatever I want. Whatever I want is whatever's at my desk. I have tons over the years of doing this. I have tons of lighters and tons of cutters. And so just at my desk, and I'm not going to go through everything because we don't have time. It's an hour long. I've got not one but two of these little rally lighters from Calibri. I've got a Daytona lighter. Nice little lighter. Good single jet. Love that thing. I've got the new Plasencia Alma Cielo lighter that I got at PCA. Neat little triple jet. Love that thing. It's too fancy for me. I'm afraid I'm going to get it scratched. One of the ones I grab a lot and take with me where I go is this Tactical. I love the look on it. It's got a cigar rest on top. It's got a nice big single jet. Got the big dial on the bottom. Got the fuel window. I really like fuel windows. I really like the big dial on the bottom because I like to crank mine up, and then when I hand it to somebody, I usually crank it down. I've got from Randy B. He had an engraved one of these Drew Estate lighters. It's not a Drew Estate lighter, but I forget what company makes it. But it's an awesome triple jet. It's got a punch. It's got a nub tool. It's got a fuel window. It's got a big dial on it. That thing's everything you need. I've got this little Calibri Slimline. Love that thing, right? That Tactical comes from Cigar. I got a neat Macanudo lighter that I got from Macanudo. It's got the M on it. It looks like curtains, and it's got a little crown on top. And double jet comes out of there. Let's see. We got another Drew Estate branded lighter. I don't know what company that is. Got a little punch on it. Big dial window. Are you understanding that I got big dial windows? Then I got this freaking. Oh, it's out of fuel. This thing's got a V cut on the back of it. It's from Calibri. It's got that coffin shape. Really, really nice lighter. Expensive lighter, but really, really nice lighter. Had that for a while. I got an old OG Cigar Blue. Nice little single jet. Got lots of single jets. I've switched into single jets lately. I got a bunch of others. I got some still in the boxes that I want to do videos with and use for pictures and stuff. So I have a couple of these big lighters. We will be having Year of the Chief stuff coming out soon. Chief's going to be working on that, and his branded lighter for Year of the Chief is going to be one of these, but I think it's in black. Might be in red. I think it's in red. It's going to look like this, but it's going to have Year of the Chief on one side and Year of the Chief on the back side. These are just stickers and stuff. But this is a great lighter. 150 lights out of this lighter. Easy. Every fuel fill. Good quad. Comes to a pencil point. And then our other lighter, which is our Bob the Cigar Guy and Chief lighter. Bob Cigar Guy on one side, Chief on the other side. This is a dual jet Paleo Pistola. Fantastic, phenomenal, and wonderful. Great double jet, and you will run 60 full-size cigars, Toros, Churchills, Gordos with one fill, and you can see how much fuel's in it. I love that. Right, fills up real easy, real quick. I got an old jet line over here, all beat up. This one I just throw in my pocket when I'm on the lawn. I've got lawn mowing lighters. I've got other lighters that I have to keep pretty because I want to use them in photos, and if I'm promoting or if I'm using somebody's product, if I want to use a Cigar product and I just want, I want to give Cigar some shine, or Calibri or Jetline or Vertigo or whoever, I want to make sure the lighter's nice and pretty. And so I want to make sure that it's not scratched, it's not this and that. And so I will have some real nice ones. They're still in boxes all over the place over here, so I'm not going to pull them out. They're still in boxes. Because, all right. Because I want to make them I want to keep them photo ready. Let me puff on this for a second because I know it's going to go out while I'm showing you my cutters. Because I've got a handful and a half of cutters. Oh my God. But I will start off with the baddest cutter I got. The most expensive cutter I got. It is a William Henry. And this one stays in a leather case. It stays in a little drawer. I got little drawers over here. It stays in a little drawer because this thing is a house payment. This is a William Henry titanium cigar cutter knife. It's a titanium frame. It's got ironwood. It's got all sorts of jewelry, jewels embellished. It's a triple Damascus. That thing is amazing. One side is, let me see if I can get the camera to look. Yeah, one side is flat and the other side is beveled so that when you cut your cigar, it cuts your cigar well. Fantastic. Whisper quiet. Velvet moves. Smoother than silk. I love this thing. Gorgeous and fantastic. Comes with a soft butter leather case. Man, I love that. But I don't use it often. It's very, very rare that I'll take this out and use it for something. I'll use it for pictures. I'll use it for stuff like that. I always have my bleed tool. Cigar has a great bleed tool. It's got a little screw to change your jets or adjust your jets and stuff as well, but it bleeds really, really well. Really nice, neat tool. I've also got a little small bleeder tool, and I've got some nub tools and stuff like that, and I don't want to get into all that. But as far as, let me puff on my cigar. It's so good. It runs that balance of being too rugged and not rugged enough really well. It's spicy a little bit. It's full leathers. It's got some cedar and some oakiness to it, but it doesn't leave that aggression in the finish. It leaves a little bit. There's a little bit of finish film, right? It just kind of covers your tongue, but it's not something I'm drinking. I got coffee over here. I got Diet Pepsis over here. I got iced coffee over here. I got all sorts of stuff, and I'm not wanting to grab to it. So, right at my desk, I've got two little clips right up under my computer that I can hang stuff, and one of those is my Dunbarton cutter, right? And the other one is a Cigar cutter, but it's Republic of Debauchery. Law Ream, a phenomenal friend of the channel. He is a guru with social media, but he's also a very, very good friend of mine. One of my great friends. I'm so blessed to get to know him and hang out with him and call him friend. He is amazing and phenomenal. And so that was his company before he went to work for Davidoff for Zeno Nicaragua. And so I keep that there. That just I spend a lot of time here. And so I surround myself with things that remind me of people. In my toolbox, I have tools from people that I've worked with. And so when I go to grab that tool, I remember those people. And it's just kind of neat. It's kind of cool. Ashtrays, I got tons of ashtrays all over the place. I use a big Camacho flat, or I use a big old flathead CEO. I love that thing. It looks like a flathead. Look, it's milled aluminum. It's really gorgeous. I love that thing, and it's rugged. I don't have to worry about dropping it or whatever. Chief's got a ton of lighters on his side, ton of cutters on his side. He's got the Dunbarton stone ashtray over there. I'm looking at the new Calibri cube ashtray he's got a Calibri cube lighter. He's got a Calibri cube lighter. He's got the old Quasar tabletop lighter sitting over there. I see a bunch of stuff, but that's his side, not my side. That's none of your business. All right, but I have our You're the Chief branded stuff. This is that nice XI cutter. We'll be coming out with that. Chief's going to be coming out with a program for that. It's very limited. We did not buy a lot. I think we bought 30 of each. And so this is going to be a one and done You're the Chief. So this is kind of neat. The Cigar did such a great job. Quality Importers did such a great job on the logos. And then this is the same one that's not branded. Same as that cutter, but it's a big, that thing. It's a 80 ring gauge. Actually, yeah, it's like an 80 ring gauge. Right, look at that thing. It's huge, right? And so when you're cutting a big cigar, you're cutting something like that, it's real easy to do. It's also easy to know it's in your pocket. You don't lose it out of your pocket when you drop it in your pocket. Let's see. We got a Jetline V-cut, right? Nice little V-cut right there. Would have been nice if I would have had it the right side up. But this is a working lighter. As you can see, it's got chips on it. Now, if you buy a lighter and you're worried about it, you want to keep it fresh, or a cutter or a lighter, you want to keep it fresh, you want to keep looking good, get your finishes in matte black, and a Sharpie will take care of any scratches or chips, because they scratch and chip. The finish is just the finish, and so unless you want to baby it all the time, then having that finish is a good way to go. And the black goes with everything, right? It does. So you can just have that as a set, and you can look all tactical cool, or you can look whatever. But I like it, and that's one of the reasons why I have so many of the black accessories. Now you will notice on Steven's side, on Chief's side, most of his stuff is green. Green is his favorite color. Blue is my favorite color, as you can see with the backdrop. Blue is my favorite color, and so usually when manufacturers send us stuff, if it's for Chief, it'll come in. I'll ask for green. If it's for me, I'll ask for a blue. But I'll take whatever they send, because they're kind enough to send me stuff, right? I'm not going to, beggars don't be choosers, and I'm not begging, but I'm not saying, well, I'll only take it if you send me such and so and so colors and da da da. But usually when I do that, I ask for more. I say, hey, I want to do giveaways. Can you supply some stuff that we can use for giveaways? And we have lots of stuff sent to us, and lots of stuff just ends up in the giveaway piles. We're almost up to 10,000 subscribers. We're at 9,100 or 200 or whatever. It's up there. Once we hit 10,000, we're going to do a huge giveaway. We're talking 250 prizes, right? And each prize is going to be worth $100, $200, and we're going to do a huge giveaway. Huge, just like we've done in the past. And if you've ever been a part of this channel, if you've been around any while, you'll know that our giveaways are fun, are 4 hours long, are live, and they are amazing. And everyone's a winner. We don't do that thing where you send in. I overtalked it. I was hoping I was going to keep it. It's barely lit, but I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to toast it up. Get this Placencia lighter. This thing is nice. Keeping them full of fuel is very important. I've learned that I have to check my lighters before I start a review, because I won't pay attention, and that lighter will be almost out of fuel, and then I have to grab another one. It just doesn't look good. So I have started a routine of where I have to check my lighters before I do reviews. But I get giveaways. You want to get tons of people to watch, right? You want to get tons of eyes. You want to say thank you, but you also want it to be part of business, right? And so people buy tickets and a person gets a chance to win. We don't want to do it that way. We're not trying to make money. We're not. We're just trying not to lose money. So when we do giveaways, we charge so much per ticket, and it's a guaranteed winner. Every ticket wins. Every last ticket wins. If you buy a ticket when they come out, you're guaranteed to win. And you're guaranteed to win. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but it will probably be something like a 5-pack of cigars plus these giveaways, a guaranteed MSRP of at least $100, at least $200, whatever we got. I don't know what all we got. We just keep stacking stuff for years until we're ready to do this. Then we pull it down and we go through it, and then we figure out what we're going to do. We also don't want somebody who's deep in pockets, because some of the stuff we give away is limited. Some of the stuff we give away is exclusive. Some of the stuff we give away you can't get. And we don't want somebody to buy a bunch of that stuff, put on eBay, and then pay for their vacation. That's not fun. That's not cool. So we limit how many tickets you can buy. Usually it's 2 tickets. You can only buy 2 tickets. You don't have to buy 2, but you can buy 2. You buy 2 tickets, and if you want, and that's it. You can't buy any more. Now, people will have their wives buy, or they'll have their cousin buy, or whatever. And I'm not going to go through all that crap. But okay, if you got to work that hard, okay. But that gives everybody an opportunity and a chance to buy, right? And we want everybody to have a good time. If it's big enough, we'll do 1 ticket only. I don't know. The money that we charge, basically we sit down and we say, okay, what's our prizes? How big of a box do we need? And then we figure out how much shipping is, continental U.S. If you're not in the continental U.S., you can still buy a ticket, you can still enter, but you have to cover the rest of shipping over that price. And so every year that we've done it, we've pretty much broke even. I think we were a couple $100 shy the first year. And some people are very kind. They'll say, hey, let me throw an extra so-and-so dollars into this just to help you with shipping and just thank you for what you're doing. We don't sell things, or cigars and stuff like that. When a manufacturer sends us stuff, it does never go for sale. Ever, never, never, never. They give it to us for reviews or for giveaways, and to sell it would just be double dipping and stealing. And number one, the manufacturers would probably find out about it and not send anything, which would suck because then we couldn't give you stuff. But in all reality, Chief and I have to sleep at night. And so we're not going to do something that's going to feel wrong. We're not going to do it. We're just, no. This is not our only job. This is not our paycheck job. This is not our pay rent job. So we don't have to make hard decisions that compromise our integrity. If this ever does become a full-time paycheck job, we still will not compromise our integrity, because if it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be. And if it's supposed to be, we have to do it right. Right. So that's coming down. So if you hadn't subscribed, subscribe, because until we hit 10,000, we don't give nothing away. Right. So except for Second Saturdays with the First Lady, which is a huge giveaway. Hundreds of dollars of stuff, at least 12 cigars, swag, and this and that and the other, and great time with that. The First Lady actually talked with Fabian Ziegler when he was here for a good 45 minutes, asking him technical questions and asking him all sorts of stuff. The information she wants to know is I'm like, man, I should ask that question. That's a good question. So, all right, back to cutters. I got this neat, I thought it was going to be amazing. It's a Cigar Geary cutter, which you spin it around, you put your cigar in, you snap it off. I think if you played with it all the time, you'd get good at it, but I don't play with it much, so I'm not very good at it, so I have a hard time cutting my cigar. It's kind of big in the hand, but it's pretty cool. Have it hanging off your backpack or whatever. It's a conversation piece. Neat, neat cutter. Let's see. I got my OG, my SV from Calibri. I love this thing. It's got a guillotine on the back. It's got a V-cut on the front, that nice deep V-cut. It is in this powder-coated gunmetal, I guess, and this is the best finish. This finish I can put in my pocket and not worry about it. I ain't gonna drop it off the back of the truck and have it roll down the highway, but it'll take a beating. It's a great cutter. I've had thousands of hands use this cutter cutting 10,000s of cigars. Fantastic. But this Zycar SV. It's not their SV, but it's the same thing. It's a guillotine on one side, it's a V cut on the other. This is pretty neat, and it feels nice in your hand. It's nice and heavy. It's tool steel. Cut the tip of my finger off with it because I was playing around with it, so it's very, very sharp. Be careful if you get one. I had that lighter that was a Slimline from Calibre. Well, Calibre's got a nice, gorgeous Slimline red cutter guillotine. I love this thing, but the finish is it's a semi-gloss, and that nice little gold, so I have to keep it safe. I can't throw it in my pocket, that's for sure. Got a paleo, just a simple get it and get it. Got a bunch of event cutters, just the Perfecto cutters. And right here I've got Calibre's come out with a new SV kind of setup. It's in the Quasar line. Really, really nice. It's got a V-cut and it's got a guillotine. And if you get schmutz stuck in there, you actually take the back of the cap off, and it's really nice. The only problem with this is this finish is somewhat, because it's pointy and tippy, you can see. I used this at PCA a lot this year, and it got dinged up a little bit because of my pocket, and it was bouncing around with other stuff. And so I wish the finish was a little bit stronger. I actually talked with Calibre about it. I talked with Lori Paris. She's a good friend of mine. And I said, hey, can y'all do something about that finish? They said, we know. They said, we're working on something. We got some things in the mix, but and I said, you're not the only one. It's every other manufacturer pretty much has the same problem. But if y'all thought about going to powder coating, or if y'all going to a different finish to where the lighter stays nice, the cutter stays nice, because people want to take pictures. They don't want beat up lighter. Some people do. Some people want that tactical look, like it's been through Armageddon and back, but most people don't. I mean, let's face it, those lighters and cutters, you're going to spend a Benjamin on a lot of them, or at least half a Benjamin, and so you want it to last a good while. You want good quality, but the finish makes it nice. This baller, which is the last one I'll show you, is really neat. Cigar Medics, that baller, right? It's not cheap, that's for sure, but I probably cut 20, 30 cigars out of it now. It's nice, it's heavy, it's very mechanical heavy. The spring is really nice. The schmutz drops out the back really, really fast. It cuts really, 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 really nice. And he showed me, and I don't know if these are for sale unless you can get them from a dealership or your shop or something. I'll have to research that. But it's got a sharpener for that. And I've only cut 20 cigars with it, so it's going to stay on my desk, and I'm going to use it over and over again. I'm using it on this cigar right now. It just cuts a melon ball out of it. It's a different type of cutter, new technology, but good technology. I really like it. It's not gitchy. I remember when the Shurkin came out. And the Shurkin was basically this little, looked like a big pill, like a big capsule. You took the top off, and it's got 6 or 8 blades, and you just center it up on your cutter or on your cigar, and you punch down. You cut 6 or 8 slits, and they say it saves the cap. Well, it didn't save the cap, and it said it gave you a good draw, and I'm like, it doesn't give you a good draw. And tar, which is a natural and all tobacco, the tar had nowhere. It would cling to the cap slits, and so it would clog up the slits, number one. But number two, tar tastes like boo-boo when it gets in a high concentration. Mess up your whole flavor. I did not like that thing at all. It was gangly. It was expensive. It was 30 bones for that, and it was plastic. I could see if it was one of those $5 event things or something like that, but it just not my thing. And I don't talk bad about stuff, but that Shurkin was bunky. It was. I didn't like it at all. Let's talk cuts while we're talking, shall we? How about it? Your traditional cuts. People say you have 4. All right. You have your chewing it with your teeth, right? Old Cubans will tell you that all the time. The old heads. I use my teeth. All right. Then you have a punch, and then you have a guillotine, and then you have a V-cut, and you have a lot of other different options like this baller. Right. That's a new technology. But I wouldn't count that as one of the original four. Now, I understand that back in the day that you bit it with your teeth because the technology on cutters weren't great back in those days. You didn't humidify your cigars most of the times. You put them in copper boxes and stuff like that, and you'd run them under a faucet, or you'd lick your cigar. You'd dip the tip in bourbon so it didn't crack or bust. I mean, technology has come a long way in the cigar lifestyle industry. And so that biting with your teeth, no. If number one, I tried it and I ripped the cap off, and I don't like getting little niblets of tobacco and stuff like that, and then it's stuck in my teeth and I don't notice, and I'm walking around with tobacco in my teeth looking like a goob. I look like a goob enough as it is. I don't need any help from little bits and niblets of tobacco. I don't. So. If I don't have a cutter, I'll cut up my pocket knife. I don't have a pocket knife. I'll stab it with something. First lady was doing research on gear, and she was talking to Will McFall from Drew Estate. Will McFall said golf tee, and that's a good idea. Golf tee basically is a makes you punch. I rub it on concrete if I have to. There's nothing going to stop me from smoking my cigar if I'm ready to smoke my cigar. I will. No problem whatsoever. I'll light it off a toaster if I have to. I mean, really, now, first lady would be mad. I'd go and grab our toaster, especially since I got all this stuff out here. But I'll do it. In reality, I'll do whatever it takes to enjoy my time, right? But if I've got the gear, I've got great gear. I've got gear. The punch is cheap. You're everywhere. They usually are small. They usually fit on your key ring. They're with you most of the time. The punch saves the cap. It opens up the center. So if you've got a small cap or a bad cap, it is probably not going to affect it. But the punch has straight walls on the sides, and it will bring up tar. The tar can stick on there. Not always. Usually in a darker, heavier cigar, like a triple Maduro or something like that. Come on, Bob. There it goes. There we go. So, and the punch needs a little bit of practice. Most people put a punch on there because that's usually a rookie punch. They go up and they buy some cigars, or their sweetie buys them cigars, and the cheapest cutter they can get is probably a punch. You can get them for $1, $1.50, $2. And so you get that to start with. I get it. But they'll take and they'll put it in there, and they'll turn it like they're trying to tighten the screw, and they'll just turn it. When you put a punch on, you don't push down hard. You allow the tobacco to tell you when it's cutting and let it cut slowly by itself, and then you just turn it 90 degrees, not even 90 degrees. You just twist, back and forth, and it'll walk its way down, and it will take the cap out. So no problem with that. Guillotine. All right, guillotine is the OG, other than teeth, right? The traditional. When you cut it, don't cut too much off, right? You got to save the cap. The cap stops the tobacco wrapper from unraveling. You can still smoke an unraveling tobacco cigar, but it's just not as much fun. So you really want to just skim the top of it. Problem with guillotine is, come on. I'm talking way too much, but it's a podcast, so let me light this thing up with a big old lighter. Let me put this quad on here. So with the guillotine, you can end up making the tobacco real wet, which can change your draw, but also it can change your flavor. You can start getting the acrid part of the smoke. Why is that lighter not lighting? You get the acrid part of the smoke. It just kind of builds up into a little pearl of that, and it tastes kind of nasty. But it works good. Guillotines are everywhere. You need to know how to use a guillotine, because if you go somewhere and you're not bringing your stuff, they'll probably have a guillotine. Then there's the V-cut. And what the V-cut does is it is kind of a punch, kind of a guillotine. So it cuts a wide path, and it goes down. right? So it saves your cap like a punch does, and it gives you the exposure like a guillotine does, but it does a little of both. That way it stops you from getting the tobacco wet on the cap where you cut it. Which stops that little water thing I'm talking about. It also the tar doesn't come out as easy because it's not on flat straight sides. It's on an angle side. It just, I don't know what the science is behind it, but it just seems like it's easier and better. Tar is very rare though, especially in the past couple of years. I've noticed, and I smoke a lot of heavy cigars, that there's not that much tar issue. It was, I guess, for me, it was probably 7, 8 years ago, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. All that time, I just was experiencing tar, and maybe it was the cigars, maybe the tobacco has changed, maybe the process has changed, maybe the aging has changed, maybe I have changed. I don't know, but that's when I really experienced it and I had to do some research and figure this out. God, dog it, this thing is good. Broadleaf. By the way, today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Camacho. Live life bold. And you smoke cigars. I know you do because you're watching this. Why would you not be smoking cigars if you're watching this? Because it's Bob the cigar guy, not Bob the, I don't know, sweet tea guy. Doily guy. I don't know. But it's Bob the cigar guy. So you're probably watching that because you are a cigar smoker. Glad you're here. And so if you're going to smoke a cigar, why not smoke a good cigar? And if you're going to smoke a good cigar, one of the ones you can grab is a Camacho cigar. That's right. Live life bold. You want something that's full in flavor, maybe solid in strength, but it's not solid in strength trying to knock you in your head. Solid in strength because with flavors comes strength. Strong. But it's not going to knock you out. Probably. If you're brand new rookie smoker, you might want to stay to the lighter wrappers. Work your way up into the darkers. But I tell you what, them things are worth working into. That's for sure. And this Camacho Broadleaf, first time I think I've ever smoked it. I'm not sure, but it's the first one that I can remember. I'm really digging it. It's right in my wheelhouse. I'm glad I got a box because we do this podcast every single week for at least another, 52 weeks. And they came in sponsoring in the middle of the month or in the middle of the year. This is actually their first official sponsored. This is when the contract started, but we are value added. We started as soon as we said, hey, let's do it. And so we just added those extra 4 or 5 episodes or however many episodes it is, but they're going to be a year. So we've got 52 more from right here. 51. So 51 weeks. Got a box of cigars. That's 20 cigars. I won't have to ask them for more cigars for at least a week or 2 because I like cigars. I like you more, but I like cigars. So grab you a Camacho. Smoke you a Camacho. Leave me a comment in one of my videos. Leave me a comment on this video, any video, and just tell me, hey, I smoked that Camacho such and such, and you're a goober. That don't taste nothing like that. Okay? True. If it doesn't taste that way to you, then it's not right to you. And maybe you'll just say, you know what, man, you killed it. This is my new favorite cigar. Fantastic. I love it. And I'm going to be happy about that too. And if you'd like, if it's true, if it's real, I got to get a sip of coffee. I got a tickle. Talking too fast. And if it's real and you say, hey, I decided to watch your video and you just made me want to buy some Camacho cigars. I went and bought a sampler. I bought 10 boxes. I bought this and that. Do me a favor. Leave it in a comment because then I'm going to screenshot it and send it to Camacho and say, hey, thanks for sponsoring us. By the way, they watch us and bought Camacho. But if you did not buy Camacho or Davidoff or Avo or Zeno or Baccarat, all the same family, Davidoff company, if you didn't buy any of that, don't say that because that's lying. Don't do that. But if you did, because I said something, leave me a comment. Please help a brother out, would you? Ugh. Camacho, live life bold, right? Want to make sure I get those plugs in. When we have sponsorships and partners, we vet our sponsorship and partner. I've said before, and I say it many times, that Chief and I, this is not our full-time gig. We don't make hardly any money at all. We're at a point now where we might get some money for Christmas to buy some extra presents. We might be able to take the family out to a dinner or something, but this is not a profit business. It pays for everything. We've got tons of stuff. Chief's got new cameras, new gear. I've got new lighting. Look at my gorgeous lighting back there. Thank you to Lane Crenshaw for that. And we've got humidors, and we get to travel everywhere and all that good stuff. So all the money that we get, we turn back into the channel. And we have lots of expenses I didn't know we would have, but electrical, a musical thing, so Chief can have music he wants to put on videos, editing softwares, clip something softwares, podcast, StreamYard live stuff, the ChevetteReport.com, website hosting things. I mean, so luckily we do have sponsors, and that covers that. And what we do is we pour money back into it to try to give you a better product. I will never be a great cigar reviewer, but I'll never look good either, but at least the quality of the content will be better. The actual video, audio, and everything else. So we're looking right now at microphones and a sound deck, which gives me the ability to push a button and it makes sound things. So I got distracted. I do my videos on my phone, and so I just got a text from the First Lady talking about she's going to go run and do something. So that's what that ding was. My bad. And we're going to look on getting me a camera where I don't have to have my phone go off when I'm doing a video. But we do have sponsors. When we do sponsorships, we vet the sponsors. We have turned down sponsorships before because they don't fit who we are. Honest, looking to give you the best value and the best experience for the short time that you spend on yourself smoking cigars. We want to make sure that they've got good business practices. We want to make sure they've got a good morality to them. We want to make sure that they G and haul with us. It's important. And then when we talk with them, we say, hey, we're going to do a monthly video for y'all, or we're going to sponsor you on Chief Talk, or we're going to sponsor you on this podcast, or we're going to do a weekly show, or we're going to do a bi-weekly show. There's lots of products that we have. And in doing those, we say we will guarantee you so many videos. We have had this many views on average, so we kind of give them our average. We say we'll throw in a couple extra things. We always throw in extra things. We'll do promoting across all of our social media streams, and then we'll say we'll give you this review, or we will give you this content. We will not guarantee a good review. It's in there, and I actually don't just send it an email. Chief and I talk to every one of our sponsors. We said, look, we don't give you a guaranteed good review. Now, if you send us cigars to review, and even if you're not sponsored, because lots of companies send us stuff, we say if it's a bad review, or the cigar just doesn't burn well, the cigar is awful, the cigar is this or that, we will give you the opportunity to say don't post it. We will not lie. We will not candy coat it. We will not give you a guaranteed good review. If your cigar is good, we'll say it's good. If it's not, we'll say it's not. Period. Now, if you watch my videos, you don't see me talking negative much. That's a fact. I've actually been called out on that. Oh, he likes everything. I don't like everything. But it's not my job. This is my perspective. It's not my job to tell you what tastes good. Because what I taste probably is what you taste, but I may not like it. There are some weird people in this world that like vegetables. I mean the weird stuff. Asparagus, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, broccoli, kale. Ugh. That's nasty. But it's not my responsibility to tell you that's nasty. I can tell you it's nasty to me. But when I do a review, it's not about me, it's about you. I'm hoping that you find something that you'll either stay away from because you don't like, or you'll lean into and it'll make your life better, right? I don't want to waste your time. I want you to have great moments. And so I talk about construction, smoke, draw, and burn. Those things you can quantify. Is it a good smoke? Is it a bad smoke? Is it a draw? Is it a tight draw? Is it a loose draw? Is it a great draw? By the way, this is a delicious draw. It's a little snug, little work to get it, but it's not hard like a milkshake at McDonald's when the milkshake machine works. Smoke's about a 6 out of 10. It's not like cotton candy, but it's full. You can feel it in your mouth when you're smoking. Burn. Mascara line is tight and tiny. It's not a perfect burn right now, but it's because I'm kind of not paying attention to it. I'm just talking to you a lot, having to relight a bunch of times. And I'm relighting quick because dead air is bad air. But those things I can quantify. Smoke, draw, and burn. I can look at the construction. I can tell you the cap is good. I can tell you that the wrapper's nice. There's no blemishes. There's no holes. There's no this. There's no that. The seams are very small. The veins are tight and tiny. So I can tell you all that. When it comes to flavors, what I try to do is I try to tell you what I taste. Now, if I say something is, let's do an easy one, leathers. It's not that I go around and eating leather, because I don't. But you go into a saddle shop or a boot shop and you smell that great smell, right? And that smell transfers into a taste, and it kind of has that taste. Well, some kind of taste like leather, and some just taste like full-blown leather. So I'll talk about how clean the flavors are. So I say something is creamy toasty, or if it's dark chocolatey, or if it's espresso notes, or if it's a beefy meaty, or it's turned to earth and minerality. It can kind of be like it, or it can be dead on like it. And so when I say clean, that means the flavor is much more pronounced. Like the difference of having a McDonald's hamburger and going to a very expensive steak restaurant and getting a hamburger from there. It's going to taste different, right? Remember when meat used to taste like meat? Now it doesn't. It's less meaty, right? And so I'll talk about that. But if you are a vegetarian and you don't like meat, and this tastes beefy, it tastes meaty, it has that substantiability to it, you're not going to like that flavor. And that's okay. And if I say it tastes like Brussels sprouts, I'm lying, because I've only eaten Brussels sprouts once, and that was in boot camp in the Marine Corps, and I don't remember because I was traumatized because the drill instructor about beat me half to death to make me eat that. The only time I ever told a drill instructor no was when I had to eat 2 Brussels sprouts, and I fought it hard and I lost. A lot of drill instructors, a lot of big guys, and they made me eat it. I did not like it, but I don't remember what it tastes like. So if I ever say it tastes like Brussels sprouts, I don't know what I'm talking about. But if you like Brussels sprouts and something tastes like Brussels sprouts, then who am I to tell you it's a bad taste? Who am I to tell you this cigar tastes bad? It's not my job. It's my job to tell you they're clean, they're fresh, the flavors are muddy, the flavors are crisp, the flavors stack evenly. You can pull separate flavors out, or they weave like ivy on the side of a brick building. They just kind of blend one into the other, a melange of deliciousness. That's what I do. Or that's the goal of what I try to do. I don't hit the mark all the time, but I'm aiming for the target. Sometimes I hit it, and most times I miss, but I reload and fire again, right? We do, on average, between 350, 330 to 400 something videos a year. So we grind. We do a lot of videos. Chief has Chief Talk every Thursday night at 8:15, a 2-hour live show. And he does a minimum of 40, but usually 50, because we're either traveling to Barn Smoker PCA, or it falls on a holiday, or somebody's sick, or he's taking a summer vacation or something like that. But usually it's between 45 and 50 videos a year of that. And then we have a bunch of other videos that we do every week. And then I've got all these cigars, and we got the PCA content, and we've got Barn Smoker content. We've got all sorts of other stuff. On top of that, we're on all sorts of podcasts right now. We've hit some metric where people want to have us on their podcast. I'll be on Chi-Town Cigar podcast. It's on a Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. South Carolina time. June 10th, I'll be on there. We'll be talking about cigars. Chief's been on a couple podcasts this year. I've been on 2 or 3 already. So we've got that content that we talk about as well. And we love to do more. We love to do more and more content. I'm looking at possibly expanding and doing more content. I just got promoted to a different job at the car mill. I've been a reworker for a long time, which means a mechanic for brand new cars. When the car's not perfect, it comes to me and I fix it and I make it perfect for our customers. Now I am moving up to the special vehicles operation. This is a neat place. This is hard to get to. There's only about 50 guys there, and they retire from there. This is where you go to retire. So it's very hard to get in that job. You have to grind for a long time. I've been at the plant for 15 years, and I've put in good work, and now I get to be a part of that. I mean, that place it's a building all by itself. There's nothing around it. You can't get in there without having a special key card. They're very big on no phones, no photos, because we get the cars that have not been built yet. We get to travel to Germany and Africa and Mexico and Brazil and I think England and China, all sorts of places, and we go to those manufacturing plants and we learn how to build the car, and then we come back and we teach the plant how to build the car. When the first cars come out, we take and we actually walk with the car down the line, which is about 5 miles long, and we travel with the car and we show them how to fix it. We show them how to build it, and we build the first 100, 200 cars that way, and then they've learned how to do it, and then they build the cars. Really, really neat experience. I'm very, very excited about it. I'm very worried about it because I have a background in rework. You have a general mechanical, which does a ton of things. Changing the seats, changing the center consoles, changing the dashboard, which is called an IP, fixing carpet stuff, fixing the headliner, the thing over your head, fixing the windows, hanging of doors, excuse me, all of that. And so I started off mechanical, went to electrical, which is these cars are a computer on wheels. And so I learned about all the components. I learned how to chase electrical problems and this and that. And I did that for a while. And then there is leathers and plastics, where you fix any flaws in the leather, or the plastic bumper parts. You fix any issues there. And then there is powertrain, which I've never done, which is dealing with the engine, the suspension, and the drivetrain. A heavy-duty mechanic. There's powertrain, and then there is glass. And there's paint repair, and I've done paint repair as well, fixing any scratches that come off the line because somebody has leaned up against it and scratched it, or a part scratched it, and we make the finish perfect. And I've done that. And then I've been in glass for the past 5 years, which is any glass is glued on the car. The windshield, the back glass, the quarter glasses, the sunroofs, and we have one car that the whole roof is glass, and so we deal with that as well. And I've become an expert at that. I mean, I am jam up, bang up good, right? And I've got that skill set. And so now that I'm going to SVO, I have forgotten all my other skills. They're kind of dusty. In SVO, they literally give me a car, and they say, you have 2 weeks to make it perfect. And other than powertrain and paint and glass, which I'll be doing glass, I hope, I have to fix everything. And so they're going to send me to some schools. They're going to send me to electrical school. They're going to send me to other schools. And so I'm going to have to learn a whole lot, which I'm excited about. I am. I'm nervous, but I'm excited about. And also, we have to put these cars through their paces. We have cars that are pretty much race cars that we build at the plant. Some of our cars, motorsports and competition sports and stuff like that. And to test them correctly, you have to drive them on a high-speed test track To be a driver on the high-speed test track, which is very few people do, you have to go get a race car license across the street at our race car school. Our plant has a race car school. You can go learn how to race cars and get a race car license at this school. It's amazing. But you have to learn how to drive very fast under conditions where brakes may fail. What do you do? Steering may be an issue. What do you do? How do you hit corners at 130 miles an hour? And how do you brake before and push out? So I'm actually going to learn how to drive race cars, which I'm stoked about. Then there's another group in that same group, which I will be paralleled with and eventually maybe be a part of, where they will go to... they'll get the cars, and these cars are called press cars. Press cars are the ones you see in the commercials. Press cars are the ones you see in the photo shoots. Press cars are the ones they use in movies. You make these perfect. And also a press car is the car that Road and Track or Consumer Reports or whatever, all manufacturers will say, hey, we're going to meet at this racetrack, one of the premier racetracks, right? The not roundy round racetracks, but wiggly racetracks where you're going back and forth. You have to make them ready, those cars ready for the press people to ride in the cars and drive the cars. And so you actually travel with that car. You make it perfect. You travel with that car, and every night when they're done, you pull it back into the shop, and you make sure everything is perfect. You make sure it's clean. You make sure everything's topped off. You make sure there's no issues. And so you get to be basically a pit crew for those cars. Pretty dang cool. Also, our manufacturer will send cars to big, huge events. We make cars that can become bulletproof, like for presidents and this and that. And so they will have security groups. They'll have security, what are they called? Conventions. And they will have those cars there. And so you get to go with them and you get to help them take care of the cars and everything else. And sometimes Hollywood will want a big bunch of those cars driving their people around to the red carpet deal. And so you'll be with that. So it's a very elevated position. It's very hard to get, extremely hard to get. I've been blessed that I was chosen, and I'm looking forward to it. With that, and this is where I'm coming into how I'll be able to do more reviews. Right now I work at the plant. I work a schedule where it's 10 hour, which is an 11 and a half hour day, 4 or 5 days a week. And then I get days off. And so on my day off, I try to cram in all the reviews. I have one day to do it usually, and another couple days, day or two, to catch up on house stuff and fix the bathroom. This is 5 8-hour days, and we start real early in the morning, and we're off real early in the day. So my hope is that I'll be disciplined enough to, on those days off, come home and shoot 2 or 3 videos a couple days a week, which will actually elevate my video count. So I can knock those out and get those done, which I'm looking forward to, because spending time with you is one of my favorite things. It's kind of sad that I don't get to see you on the other side of the camera, but I'm glad you get to see me. I'm sorry that I look this way, but thank you for bearing with it. But I do. I enjoy our time. I enjoy spending time with you, and hopefully you enjoy spending time with me. If you're still watching, I think that's a possible. Either that or you're punishing your kids and you're making them sit down and watch this video instead of yelling at them. Don't do that, because they need to be 21 to watch this. This is adult content. But if you got a 21-year-old kid and they're acting a fool, make them sit down and watch every video and write out reports on it, right? Write out a book report, a summary on, oh, that would be torture, right? But we have run, you and I have run my mouth for almost an hour. Time flies. And I've been talking a lot, and I've been talking fast, because I'm not even 2 inches into this cigar, and it is delicious. But this is the time I'm telling you to get out of that car, get in the house. That's where life starts. People love you, and you love those people. Go be with the people you love. Life is short. Smoke a cigar. If you're going to smoke a cigar, why not smoke a Camacho? I bet you'll enjoy the experience. But whatever you smoke, I hope you love it. I hope it's the best one you ever smoked. Until the next one. And I hope that's the next one that that you love more than anything else. Know that I love you and I think you're valuable. I think you have purpose. I think you make the world a better place. And I mean that. I really, really do. If you're going through a hard time, get help. Take a pause. If you don't take a break for yourself, somebody will take it from you. You deserve it. You only got one chance on this world to go around it. Go around it and make memories, make moments, and make an impact. And those impacts are going to be great because you are awesome. And I mean that. So thanks for being here. I will see you at episode 24. I hope if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Check out the rest of our stuff. Chief Talk on Thursdays at 8:15. Second Saturday is the First Lady every second Saturday of every month for the next 8 months at least. Then we've got the Sunday with Saka. We've got Drewsday with Tuesday. And then we've got a lot of other stuff. Check out the old videos. They're not stale. They still work. Watch them, right? And I'll see you next week. Hope you have a great week. Hope your weekend is fantastic. I love you, and I'll see you later. Later, Tater. Drive safe. Camacho. Live life bold. Bye.